One of my favorite mission experiences happened not too long before I came home from my mission. My companion and I had just been out tracting, and it was time to come home for the evening. So we left, and it was wintertime, so it got really dark at night. And whenever it was dark outside and we were walking, we would always, walk really quickly and be very careful of our surroundings just for safety reasons. And we were walking this area that was kind of deserted, sort of. There was a little park area and there wasn't anyone out. And we were always kind of especially careful in those situations, just, to be safe. So we were walking really fast. And then suddenly we heard someone running from behind us, and we thought, oh no, this could be bad. But then we heard him yell out, "Sisters, sisters!" And we thought, wait, this must be someone who knows us. But we were a little surprised because it was so dark, and we wondered how he could have seen our name tags and known that we were sister missionaries. And we turned around expecting it to be maybe one of the members or one of our investigators or someone we knew from English practice or something. But it was a man that neither of us had ever seen. And by this time, I had been in the city for about 13 months or so. And so I knew pretty much everyone that you could know in Simferopol. But I had no idea who this man was. And he came up to us and he started talking with us, and he said, "I know that you're missionaries for the LDS Church. Is there a program in your church where you send people to teach families?" And we said, yes. That's what we do. That's what we do as missionaries. And he said, "Okay, well, great. I want you to come teach my family. I have a wife and 4 daughters," which for a Ukrainian family, that's a big family. They usually have 1 or 2 children. And so the fact that he had 4 kids, that really impressed us. And it's kind of a long story about how we were able to actually find where he lived and set up a time to meet and everything. But when we were able to finally go to his house, his name was Valieri, he let us in and sat us down, and we met his wife and his daughters, and they were wonderful. And then he said, "I want to show you some pictures." And so he took this photo album and he put it in front of us and opened it. And the very first picture there was a picture of him standing by the Kiev temple. And we thought, wait a second, how do you know about this? And it turns out that he had used to work for the government as the Minister of Religious Affairs. And he had helped get the church into Ukraine, and he had helped get the permission and everything for building the Kiev temple. And so they invited him to go to the open house, and he went, and he told us that he had felt something while he was in the Kiev temple that was just kind of an overwhelming feeling to him. And it made him want to know a little bit more. So we began working with him and his family a little bit. And it turns out that he knew several of the members. He knew the current branch president, and he knew someone who had been the branch president before. And so we had members that we could invite to come to the lessons and to help strengthen him. And I left before, we could see how they were progressing. But it was such a miracle to see how the Lord had placed us in that tiny little park area in the middle of the winter time when it was dark outside, and we were just coming home from a long day of tracting and contacting. And we were able to meet someone who was really prepared to learn more about the gospel. It was amazing to see how the Lord had given him experiences throughout his life. He had helped him to encounter the church before, to have a really good feeling about the church, and then to get to go to the temple open house and feel the Spirit there. And I'm convinced that someday he and his entire family will join the church, mostly because I don't think that the Lord would give him so many experiences with it for no reason at all. I know that the Lord does prepare people to find out about the gospel. And I know that through that preparation, he is preparing those families to be sealed for eternity. That's the thing that I'm the most excited about for the Petrov family in Simferopol, is the day that they can go back to the Kiev temple and be sealed there.